Hey everyone, buckle up. We're about to take a wild ride through some of the spookiest spots on planet Earth. You know, those places that give you goosebumps just thinking about them? We're talking haunted houses, creepy castles, and forests that'll make you want to sleep with the lights on. We're going to uncover the secrets behind these creepy places. We're talking chilling ghost stories, unexplained events, and legends that have been passed down for centuries. Some people say these stories are just make-believe, but I'm telling you, once you hear about these places, you might just change your mind. So if you're brave enough to join me, let's dive into the shadows and explore the 12 most haunted places in the world. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. Unless, of course, you're too scared. No judgment here. Just kidding, you can handle it. Let's go. First up, we're heading straight to jolly old England. You know, fish and chips, Big Ben, and oh yeah, the Tower of London. This place is so steeped in history, it practically drips with it. And honey, when I say history, I mean centuries of drama, intrigue, and you guessed it, hauntings. We're talking kings, queens, and prisoners, all living and dying within these walls. For nearly 1,000 years, this place has seen it all. Executions, imprisonment, torture, you name it. So, it's no surprise that some restless souls decided to stick around after checking out.
One of the most famous ghosts is Anne Boleyn, the second wife of King Henry VIII. Talk about a messy divorce. She was beheaded right here on the Tower Green, and people say they've seen her ghost wandering the grounds, still rocking that same head. Or lack thereof. Yikes. But wait, there's more. We've also got the two young princes, Edward and Richard, who mysteriously disappeared in the tower, never to be seen again. Some say their uncle, Richard III, had them killed to secure his claim to the throne. Now visitors claim to see their little ghostly figures, forever trapped within these stone walls. Talk about family drama, right?
Next, we're trading the English countryside for the breathtaking beauty of Estes Park, Colorado. Now, you might recognize this next stop as the inspiration behind one of the scariest movies of all time, The Shining. Yep, I'm talking about the Stanley Hotel. This grand old hotel opened its doors back in 1909, and let me tell you, it's seen its fair share of strange and unusual activity. I mean, we are talking flickering lights, unexplained noises, and even phantom piano music echoing through the halls. Guests have reported feeling cold spots, doors slamming shut on their own, and even disembodied laughter in the dead of night. And by dead of night, I mean like actually dead.
But the most haunted spot in the entire hotel has to be room 217. It's said to be haunted by the ghost of a former housekeeper named Elizabeth Wilson, who died in the room after an accident. Guests have reported all sorts of strange things happening in that room. Suitcases unpacking themselves, lights turning on and off, and even the feeling of being tucked in at night. Now that's just weird. Stephen King himself actually stayed in room 217 back in the 70s, and let's just say it definitely sparked his imagination. He went on to write The Shining based on his experience, and the rest, as they say, is history. Or should I say, haunted history.
Okay, everybody, buckle up, because we're headed down south to the Myrtles Plantation. This place is to die for. Well, some people already have. It's like the Louisiana heat got to some folks, and they decided to stick around as ghosts.
One famous story is about Chloe, a slave who wore a turban to hide her missing ear. Chloe supposedly roams the plantation, peering into mirrors. Maybe she's searching for her missing ear, or just making sure her afterlife look is on point.
Can you imagine looking in the mirror and seeing Chloe staring back at you?
All right, folks, get ready to trade your comfy couches for cold, hard steel bars, because we're about to enter Eastern State Penitentiary. And trust me, this isn't the kind of penitentiary you'd want to escape from, unless you're trying to escape the ghosts, that is.
This place was like the VIP section of prisons back in the day, but not in a good way. They had solitary confinement on lockdown, literally. I'm talking serious alone time, people. And you know what happens when you're alone with your thoughts for too long? You start seeing and hearing things, or so I've heard.
And that's exactly what seems to be happening at Eastern State. People have reported disembodied laughter, shadowy figures, and even whispers coming from empty cells. Can you imagine walking down those eerie hallways and hearing someone whispering your name?
I think I'd just start whispering back, "Wrong number," and keep it moving. This place is so haunted they even have special Halloween events. Now that's what I call dedication to a spooky theme.
But hey, if you're brave enough to spend a night in a former prison, be my guest. Just don't come crying to me when you can't sleep because of the ghostly symphony echoing through the halls.
Next stop, we're setting sail on the high seas, or at least what used to be the high seas. Get ready to board the Queen Mary, a luxurious ocean liner that's now a floating hotel, and, you guessed it, a hotbed for paranormal activity. Talk about a sweet deal for a ghost, right?
Now, this ship has seen it all. Glamorous parties, wartime service, and even a few tragic accidents. I mean, it's like the Titanic, but instead of sinking to the bottom of the ocean, it decided to become a permanent home for some spirited guests.
There are countless ghost stories surrounding the Queen Mary, but one of the most famous is the tale of White Lady. This mysterious woman in white is often seen wandering the decks, looking for something, or someone. Maybe she lost her luggage, or maybe she's just trying to find her way to the buffet. I mean, have you ever been on a cruise? The food is the best part.
But don't worry, even if you encounter White Lady or any of her ghostly crewmates, you can always take a dip in the pool. Just make sure you don't go swimming alone. You never know who or what might be lurking beneath the surface.
And whatever you do, don't answer if you hear someone knocking on your door. It might just be a ghost looking for a midnight snack.
Okay, buckle up, buttercups, because our next stop is in Gloucestershire, England, at a charming little bed and breakfast called the Ancient Ram Inn.
Don't let the name fool you. This place is older than your grandma's secret cookie recipe. We're talking way back to the 12th century.
Now, you know I love a good history lesson, and this place has got stories for days. It's built on an ancient pagan burial ground, which, let's be honest, is never a good sign.
They say the energy there is so strong, paranormal investigators practically have to fight off the ghosts with their EMF readers. People have seen shadow figures, heard disembodied voices, and even felt unexplained touches.
One story says a witch sought refuge in the inn centuries ago, only to be captured and burned at the stake. Talk about a bad TripAdvisor review.
But hey, if you're brave enough to spend the night, you might just catch a glimpse of the resident ghost children, or maybe even the devil himself. Just, maybe pack a nightlight. And a therapist.
From a cozy inn to, well, not so cozy forest, we're heading over to Japan to visit the Aokigahara Forest, also known as the Sea of Trees. And just like the ocean, this place has depths you can't even imagine.
Nestled at the base of Mount Fuji, this forest is breathtakingly beautiful, but it also has a deeply unsettling energy. The trees grow so densely packed together that they block out the sun, creating an almost perpetual twilight. Imagine trying to find your car keys in there.
The forest is steeped in folklore and legend, with stories of demons, ghosts, and other supernatural beings lurking among the trees. Unfortunately, it's also gained a reputation as a place where people go to, well, find a different kind of peace. It's a sensitive topic, and we need to remember to treat it with respect.
But even with its somber history, Aokigahara Forest remains a place of mystery and wonder. It's a reminder that sometimes the most beautiful places hold the darkest secrets. And maybe we should just admire those places from a safe distance, with a flashlight and a buddy.
Bonjour, we're off to the City of Lights, Paris. But don't get too excited about baguettes and berets just yet because we're going underground. Deep underground, to the Catacombs of Paris.
Picture this. Miles and miles of tunnels, but instead of subway cars and rats, it's just bones. millions and millions of bones. You see, back in the day, Paris had a bit of a graveyard overcrowding problem. So, they decided to relocate the dearly departed to these underground tunnels. Talk about a fixer-upper.
Now, I don't know about you, but something about being surrounded by that many skeletons just screams haunted. People have reported feeling cold spots, hearing whispers, and even seeing apparitions down there.
I mean, can you blame the ghosts? Imagine being woken up from your eternal slumber just because some tourists wanted a spooky selfie.
But hey, if you're feeling adventurous, you can take a tour of the catacombs. Just promise me you'll wear comfortable shoes. And maybe bring a spare pair of underwear. You know, just in case.
Welcome back to the most goosebump-inducing tour of haunted hotspots around the globe. And you know, when I say goosebumps, I mean the good kind. Like when you find a $20 bill in your pocket. Or when you finally win a round of Know Your Audience.
Speaking of winning, this next location is a real showstopper. Nestled high in the Canadian Rockies, the Banff Springs Hotel is as gorgeous as a mountain sunset. But don't let the breathtaking views fool you. This place has secrets darker than a double espresso. We're talking full-on ghost stories, people. Guests have reported everything from flickering lights and disembodied whispers to full-on apparitions in period attire.
One of the most famous stories is about a bride who supposedly tripped and fell to her death on her wedding day, right there on the grand staircase. They say she can still be seen, in her wedding dress, gracefully gliding down those same steps, or waltzing in the ballroom still searching for her groom. Now that's a dance marathon I would not want to participate in.
And if that wasn't enough, there's also the tale of a friendly bellman, Sam, who worked at the hotel in the 1960s. He's said to still be on duty, even after his passing. Guests claim he helps with their luggage and even tucks them in at night. Now that's service with a smile, even if it is a ghostly smile. Now, if you're anything like me, you're probably thinking, Ellen, it can't get creepier than a ghost bride. And to that I say, oh honey, buckle up. We're about to delve into a place that's not for the faint of heart. It's called the Island of the Dolls. And trust me, it's as unsettling as it sounds.
Just imagine a tiny island in Mexico, hidden away in the canals of Xochimilco. Sounds kinda nice, right? Wrong, because every inch of this place is covered in dolls. And I'm not talking about those cute little American Girl dolls. These are weathered, decaying, downright creepy dolls with missing eyes, tangled hair, and expressions that could curdle milk.
The story goes that a man named Don Julian Santana found a little girl who had drowned in the canal. Distraught by her death, he started hanging up dolls to appease her spirit. Over the years, it became an obsession, and soon the island was overrun with these eerie toys.
Now, whether you believe in ghosts or just think dolls are inherently creepy, there's no denying that the Island of the Dolls is one unsettling destination. I mean, can you imagine getting lost there at night? It'd be like something straight out of a horror movie, and not the fun kind with popcorn and jump scares, the kind that makes you sleep with the lights on for a week.
Well, we've arrived at Poveglia Island just off the coast of Venice, Italy. You know what they say about beautiful places? They often come with a spooky side.
This island has been called one of the most haunted places on Earth. It was a quarantine zone for plague victims. Can you imagine being shipped off here knowing you might never leave? Talk about a recipe for restless spirits.
And later, a mental hospital opened up here. A mental hospital on a haunted island? That's next level.
They say Poveglia Island is full of paranormal activity. People report strange things like disembodied voices and cold spots. The island is so haunted that the Italian government won't let people visit.
Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to step into the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California. This place is like a real-life game of Clue, but instead of Colonel Mustard in the library, it's ghosts in every corner. This house is a maze of staircases that lead to nowhere, doors that open to walls, and windows overlooking other rooms. It just might have worked. Well, that's a wrap on our haunted house tour. From creepy castles to spooky forests, we've covered some of the most spine-tingling spots on the planet. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for a nice, relaxing vacation. Somewhere with sunshine, beaches, and definitely no ghosts. I'm thinking maybe a nice all-inclusive resort in, well, anywhere but these places. But hey, if you're feeling brave and adventurous, maybe you'll be inspired to visit one of these haunted hotspots yourself. Just promise me you'll leave the ghost hunting to the professionals. Or, those ghost hunting shows with the night vision cameras and the electromagnetic field detectors. I love those shows, they're so scary. But seriously, if you do decide to go ghost hunting, please be careful out there. And for goodness sake, don't go alone. Take a friend, take a camera, and most importantly, take a whole lot of courage. And before we go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a spooky story. And be sure to share your own ghost stories or haunted experiences in the comments below. I love a good ghost story. Who knows, maybe your story will inspire our next haunted adventure. Until then, sweet dreams. And remember, it's always a little spookier in the dark.